behalf of all the people of California, please resign, because your politics, your laws and regulations are destroying the state of California. I've lived here all my life, and California was the most beautiful place all across the United States. Everybody wanted to live here. Now taxes are high, food costs is super high, gas prices are high, housing is high. I mean, nobody could afford to live here. It almost feels like you live in a sinking ship, and any time now, this ship is gonna be below water.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What's going on, family? I hope everybody that's tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy. I couldn't wait to get into this. Gavin Newsom's 2028 dreams come crashing down after this exposure. You know, and it's not just conservatives or MAGA or no. Liberals, liberal of the liberalist, Democrats. People think that Gavin Newsom is an incompetent disgrace, that California is a dumpster fire. Yeah, even Democrats and liberals are done and think that Gavin Newsom's presidential dream is a laughing stock and that no one should take it seriously. I'm serious. I don't even know how anybody could take that seriously. Gavin Newsom for president. I mean, hey, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section down below. But forget listening to me and what I say. Let's see what the people say.
Not into politics. I don't pretend that I know everything there is to know. I do my best to do my research, but at the end of the day, again, I can honestly say I don't know much, and I don't insert myself in conversations that I have no business being in. What I do know is I have a brain. I know that comes as a shock to some of you. I have 2 ears, and I got 2 eyes that work. And when I look around Los Angeles, when I look around many parts of California, I say, not only is something not right, but I don't like what I see. I am a registered Democrat. I would say that I am a liberal person.
Registered Democrat, liberal.
I also will say Newsom and Bass gotta go.
Have you guys not learned anything by now? I don't understand. Okay, I was a Democrat and I still hated Gavin Newsom. Have you guys not learned anything? Not one thing. Not one thing. Let me riddle you this, okay? Lowest approval rating in almost 4 decades now, okay? You're hemorrhaging voters. Every single state now has an uptick in Republican voters. And you guys have lost almost 5 million registered Democrat voters since just 2024 alone, okay? You would think that with all of that, you'd sit there and say, what's our plan? Okay, because it needs to be a good one. You guys are not in the driver's seat anymore. I don't know how else to put that.
Man.
But if you don't make a good plan that's going to align with the majority of America, you're never going to win ever again. I can't put that any nicer. And that's not just me saying it because I support Trump or I'm a Republican. It's me saying it because this is statistic truth. Your party is going to take years to come back from the damage you guys have created. And instead of acknowledging that and saying, okay, let's be better, you put up the poster child of corruption as your candidate and leader. Am I getting that right? Gavin Newsom has destroyed California objectively. There's nothing positive that man has done. And I know that you guys are so deep in hell because most of you actually know that, and you would still vote for him over any Republican. And that is where you guys keep failing. You guys have 3 years until the presidential election of 2028. 3 years. If in 3 years you can't concoct a plan that is better than Gavin Newsom, that tells me way more about you and the destruction of your party than it says anything about how much you hate Trump. Gavin Newsom's only success right now is because he's fighting against Trump. But guess what? That's not going to last because Trump will leave office. And then Gavin is left with actually running a country when the man can't even run a state. He has ruined utilities. He has ruined taxes. He has ruined housing. He has ruined interest. He has ruined supply and demand. He spent billions on homelessness and it rose about 200%, if not more. Multiple projects the taxpayers have thrown billions at have never even started, let alone be completed, God forbid. And that just touches the surface. So if you are willing to sacrifice all of America to elect him just because he's
Let me just take a. I just got to pause it. It's getting real hot in here. It's just getting real hot, family. God bless this young woman right here. It takes a lot of courage to come on here. Like I tell y'all, it takes a lot of courage to post the truth, to be real, to even put it out on the internet for everybody to see. And this video that she put on TikTok went viral. It takes a lot of courage. God bless this young woman right here. Boy. Woo.
Trump, even with all of that baggage, and that just touches maybe the 1% of it all. That, I'm sorry, that shows way more about you than anything about Trump. You talk about all this moral superiority and this higher ground. You're a better person than Republicans. You can stand a Republican. You can't stand a MAGA. You are willing to jeopardize 350 million American working class people to elect a man who has destroyed just one state alone. That is how selfish you are in your hatred for a random man that is not only temporary, but that you don't know and have your own biases about. That is absurd. People have had enough of you guys refusing to have productive conversation, to give productive policies, to put Americans first, make Americans feel safe, do anything productive besides attempt to take down the sitting president that your own neighbors voted on. And that's not our problem. That's yours. And instead of taking the next 3 years to figure out how to fix that internally, you just deflect onto us and put up Gavin Newsom, who is worse than everything that you say Trump is. So worry about that rather than whatever the hell ICE is doing or wearing. Because I promise you have much bigger issues.
84% of Democrats nationwide say they want Democrats to take on Donald Trump. This is not 2017 anymore, where the majority of Democrats want to compromise with Donald Trump. No, they want a fighter with Donald Trump. And at this particular point, that is a big reason why Gavin Newsom, in my opinion, at least politically speaking, is leaning into this fight, because he is thinking ahead to the future. He's thinking ahead to 2028. And with the vast majority, look, you rarely get 84% of Democrats to agree on anything except for the dislike of Donald Trump. And that is what we see right now. They want that opposition of Donald Trump. And that is why Gavin Newsom seems to be more than willing to take him on.
Democrats as a whole care more about opposing Trump than they actually care about doing good for this country. The reason he's making a big deal about this and talking so much crap to Trump is because he wants to show the Democratic Party he's the one to stand up to him. He's thinking about 2028. That's my opinion. And Democrats are eating it up so much because a lot of them have severe cases of Trump derangement syndrome. So they love seeing him oppose Trump, whether it's productive or not, simply because he's opposing Trump. And this is what TDS does. I mean, if you think about it, he's getting in the way of the federal government enforcing federal law. Him and his state is getting in the way of the federal government deporting people who are in the country illegally. And part of the reason he's making a spectacle out of it is so he can show the Democrats that, yeah, I'm the one to stand up to Trump. And they drool over it and pass out and act like he's just doing the best thing ever. Again, because a significant portion of them have Trump derangement syndrome. I'm going to say it one more time. The current Democratic Party cares more about opposing Donald Trump than they actually do about doing good for the people in this country.
Gavin Newsom has a terrible track record in his state. More people are moving out of the state than moving into it. Man. You have the largest discrepancy between the rich and the poor in California.
I was outside with the guy. We were working on the landscaping. Cool guy. I mean, cool white guy. Me and him were having conversations like we knew each other from years back. And he says, I just moved over here not long ago. And I said, where did you come from, sir? He says, Mr. Rick, I came from California. I say, man, they done ran everybody out of there, huh? Yeah, he said how long ago? 2 years ago? Yeah, they ran everybody out of there. 2 years ago, you was in California. He said, yeah, Mr. Rick, I had to get out of there. And that's just some random guy I just met. And now I think we're like kind of like friends now. He's a good guy, you know. He's going to be doing some things around the house for me. Yeah, this is good. I tell you, boy. Y'all running everybody out of there. California dumpster fire. Grossly incompetent. Greasy Gavin.
California, despite it supposedly being this leftist utopia of equality and opportunity. And yet that's why you're seeing Gavin Newsom focusing on Donald Trump rather than talking about his record. This is why you're seeing him trying to desperately rise to the top of the 2028 field, saying, of course, he's not running for president. We all know that he wants to, by going after Trump. But he apparently hasn't gotten the political memo. The country approves of what President Trump is doing by majorities. And if he were really smart, he would have taken the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to figure out where I can work with the president, especially when it comes to issues that the majority of Americans want on a national scale. And yet he hasn't been able to do that because he doesn't have a record to run on. And
yeah, Democrats just can't do it. Instead of that, then they revert back to their Trump deranged syndrome, anti-Trump messaging that they still believe is working. You know, same script. You know, wake up, America, unconstitutional, unpresidential, dictator, threat to democracy. Our democracy's under attack. Our sweet cinnamon sugar democracy. Oh, you know. Hey.
They still haven't gotten the memo that being anti-Trump is not enough to win a national election.
Stop trying to make Gavin Newsom happen. Stop trying to make Gavin Newsom happen. It's not going to happen. Yes, his office, it's not even him. It's like his hired interns or whatever are writing some really funny bangers on Twitter under his press office. Yeah, that's funny. It's great. They're trolling Trump using his own tactics. I enjoy it. We all can enjoy it. That doesn't mean he should be president. Like, first of all, it's already ridiculous because it's way too fucking early. And people are, don't criticize him. But second of all, absolutely not. I know you bitches love to just do more cowbell every time the Democrats fail. But Gavin Newsom, along with all the other bad Obama impersonators, is a terrible governor and would be a terrible president. He is nothing more than your typical fucking neoliberal doing the same shit that all the other failure of Democrats have been doing for the last 40 years. Just because a couple of his interns are doing some funny trolling of Trump doesn't mean he would be a good president. And it's actually so embarrassing the way that some of your standards are in hell. Like, he just comes out and is like, all right, maybe I might pretend like I'm fighting back against the Trump administration because I know I want to run for president. And all of you are like, oh my gosh, he's the answer. It's just like the ongoing refusal to ever learn a fucking lesson.
The Democrat Party's descended into a civil war. Factions are fighting for control. Right now, the name of the game is seeing who can throw Biden under the bus the hardest. And Clinton world is leading the charge.
No one wants to hear from this guy anymore. Okay? Right. Just go to your condo in Rehoboth and stay there. And that's not because we're bad people or we mean people. It was all his doing. You had a noble career. Your last act was terrible. Just get out of the way. The party's moving on.
Obama world is jockeying just as hard.
That was egregious. The 10 minutes before the inauguration, they announced that he's pardoned members of his family. I mean, man up. You know what I mean? Man up.
Biden's out, Kamala's on ice, and Newsom lit his state on fire. All the left's heroes are tarnished. So who's going to run the party? Adam Schiff tried to put his face out there, but he's been censured in the House and pardoned as a senator. And something seems off.
So the president issued a number of executive orders last night. Let's break it down. But before I do, banged my head, really dumb. Anyway, clumsy. These are mass deportations. That's what he's saying also. And what that will mean is farm workers won't be on our farms.
They ought to walk this scum out. You know, and look, like I tell you, look, you can go back from video, the same script, the same fear mongering, gaslighting, the same lies, misinformation. They ought to walk this scum out, this fraud out in handcuffs. He's being fully investigated right now. And every time you look at him, he's up there shaking, panicking. Yeah. And the tone of his voice, you could tell he done did wrong. And they coming to get you out. Null and void. Preemptive pardon. An admission of guilt. Null and void. I hope they walk your butt out in handcuffs.
Food prices are going to go up. We will lose a lot of construction workers.
Pick our crops and set our tables. What is it with these Democrats ever since the Civil War?